Welcome to the ORCA pod, covering the second episode of Canberra versus the world. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be chatting all things Canberra Survivor. And joining me, as always, is my very own ORCA pod. Firstly, bringing in, she doesn't have a migraine this week. The trains are on time. Jules is here. Welcome, Jules.
I'm here and on time. First time.
It's appreciated by myself and the listeners. And also, of course, joining us, as always, is Dani. Welcome, Dani.
Hey, happy to be back.
Now, before we get into the show, I want to recall which of these lovely contestants have chatted with us live so far, because they are the dearest and nearest to our hearts. I believe it is Lauren.
Lauren was the first.
Then last week we had Pauline.
Yes, Pauline was here.
Sabrina, right at the end, dropped a comment. It showed up, only saw it after we went off air, but she was there as well.
I'm checking it out now. Give me a second.
Look, I was on my phone last week, so I couldn't see comments, so I'll just take your word for it.
I think there was one other person that was with us, Dani. Can you recall who it was?
I'm checking. I'm having a look. Give me a second. See if I can actually look.
I feel like it was another woman.
Was it Anthea?
Yes, Anthea was there live with us as well. The women are representing. They're killing it. I'm sure
this cast is stacked with awesome women, so it doesn't surprise me.
It is a fantastic cast of women, which is pretty special because sometimes in the casting of these games, getting a lot of women to apply and therefore giving yourself a great choice of selection and getting your cast right can be very difficult. So obviously Dan and Liv
Todd! Yeah. Hey, Todd.
Welcome, Todd. Thank you for joining us. Now you are near and dear to our hearts. Frankly,
Anthea, Pauline.
And I know that Eden has watched the show after the fact because he's messaged me about it.
Oh, cute.
So,
okay.
Lots of engagement from the cast.
Wants to get drunk with you, that's all. And Sab's here.
We got you live now. I'm sure we'll be talking to you too. Why don't we just jump into Sabrina right now, right? She's here. Now,
okay.
What in the world is going on? I just don't know what to do in this vote. Who am I going to vote out? It's just a really stressful situation. I'm just like, what in the world do I do? What in the world do I do, Dan? You're done. That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
What will you do, Sabrina?
They even fed her another question.
I know, they fed her the question.
They're like, hang on, two. All right, go again.
Yeah. You have to go on like a tangent and just be really stressed out about it. What in the world? What is it like? Yeah. Just something.
And I would have been, I think we talked about this last week. As soon as I opened it, I would have been saying what in the world to everyone around camp.
100%.
Like, make that my catchphrase.
That's my new catchphrase. Absolutely.
However, look, I don't get it. I can't see. It's sort of phrase you can say multiple times. She didn't succeed, but the advantage is next to worthless. What are we thinking?
I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Interesting. Okay.
If you get swap screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, swap screwed, actually.
If you get swap screwed, if you find yourself smack bang on the bottom of a tribe, or you don't have to use it on yourself. You can use it on someone else.
Oh, actually, yes, I like that too. Actually,
that element is good, especially if you find yourself in a swap again. Maybe not necessarily swap screw, but maybe you're in a tied situation, a 3-3. Get rid of someone.
I stand corrected. Fantastic advantage.
And
it's used for one vote post merge. Like so, again,
that power post merge
in that situation. It essentially becomes safety without power.
Yeah.
Or you can use it to manage the numbers if need be. You can use it on someone else. Yeah, actually, I agree with you, Jules. I'm incorrect. This advantage is great. Sabrina will be kicking herself that she has.
High five.
Oh, wait.
She's mismanaged this achievement, a very valuable advantage in a number of different circumstances. It's a safety without power on steroids. And it's fresh, it's new, and I'm proven wrong. What a great advantage. Looking forward to see how it plays out the balance of the season. Probably not overpowered. Could be really interesting in the merge if there's two of them in terms of how that affects numbers, or in a swap if there's two of them in a particular tribe. That, of course, assumes someone else is going to now re-find it. Presumably, they will make it as obvious as anything, would we assume?
I don't know. I mean, The one advantage Sab has now, she knows it's going back out there. She knows to go look for it. Everyone else has seen her find something. They're not probably going to be looking too hard. So if she is able to just start looking at everything, I don't think it's going to be super obvious, but it might be. It's not going to be the playing with fire idol that was never found. It might be a bit hidden.
My concern is that if she doesn't find it, she already has suspicion on her that she has something, and now she can't really like share the thing that she has because she doesn't have it. I guess she can share the note that told what she was supposed to do and sort of failed to do. But if she ever gets questioned about this by another player, and she's like, they're in a swap scenario, for example, and it's like, Ed's like, look, what's your advantage? I know you got it. Look, how can we use it to get ourselves out of the situation? She'd be like, I didn't get the advantage. You'd be like, what? What are you talking about? And then I guess you could show them
the advantage before this happened. Like once
I
she knew what she had to do, she needed one or two other people, like they had with Eden on the other side, to help her get that saying said at tribal council.
But also
like one more person in on it to then, even if she didn't get it, they have another backer when she goes back to tribal when they're like, what the fuck did you find? She's like, this is it. This is the notes. Like Aston said, share the notes. No one believes her though at this point.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what she says. No one believes her.
Yeah. I think she absolutely should have shared it before tribal to, as you said, build trust, help get someone in on it. But I think for me, I would be thinking that, hey, someone on the other tribe probably has this. So even if, like she said, no one's going to notice that I'm saying what in the world. But if someone on the other tribe knows it and mentions it at a swap, someone could potentially remember that she'd said it and then she's exposed. I think if there's any chance of you being found out, you tell people.
Why don't we go back to the start of the episode now that we jumped to the end? Look, Sabrina was here. I want to get into it. It was the big moment. There's actually a funny little meme. Woofy. Oh, well, we'll talk about Woofy first. Woofy's been posting funny little memes on the Canberra Survivor discussion chat. And he did the horse meme about Anthea doing the challenge and Sabrina doing the challenge. The like fancy horse and then the bad horse. Anyway, that's enough talking about Sabrina's failure. Now talking about...
Still I want to pick. Still love you.
We do love you. Thank you for being here in our hearts. And now the Woofy, James Wolf, from Canberra Survivor, The Ultimate Sacrifice, for those that do not know, is the namesake of this podcast. We decided to start calling ourselves the ORCA Pod when he kept referencing how he was the apex predator, as it says above there, the ORCA of Canberra, The Ultimate Sacrifice, and we just adopted that moniker. We thought it was fantastic, and so we've decided in honor of James Wolf, much like the fishy on Know-It-Alls, we will be handing out the Woofy each episode, and unlike the fishy, which is for the best player, the Woofy will be for the most ORCA player of the episode. We missed this for episode 1, so Jules, why don't you kick us off? Who do you think should have been and the awarded the Woofy for episode 1? So
let's go through our criteria. So we need
propensity
for narcissism was number 1.
Propensity
for narcissism. Something about strategy. There's a little bit of strategy.
It's strong arm tactics.
Strong arming strategy. That's right. And there's the third one?
Propensity for narcissism. We did that one.
That was the first one I said.
It's the most important one.
Yeah. Is it like something with annoying people?
Yeah.
I don't know. But all 3 of these are encompassed by the people's champion in Eden. 100%. He made it all about him. He annoyed people enough that his name was thrown out there. He was in a majority alliance. I think, all 3 of these criteria. Eden, congratulations. You're the Woofy episode 1.
He also specifically referenced how the reason he was going to do well was because he was really good looking.
Yes, I forgot about that.
That's very awkward behavior. We love it. I'm going to pull up the final criteria. That's what I'm doing right now. But Dani, who would you suggest is we should award the Woofy for episode 2?
Well, you literally sprung this on me about 2 minutes before this podcast started. I haven't, and then you didn't like my decision.
I agreed with it. Personally.
Okay, give us your decision.
So I thought the Wolfie for this episode should absolutely have been Andrew, just on his confessionals alone. I appreciate that he didn't necessarily have the strong arming of strategy, but it's enough. His name, yeah, it was light, but his name came up in conversation as a threat, and then his confessionals were so narcissistic, so glory, and I fucking loved it. It was incredible. I could watch his confessionals all day long. It was fabulous. That for me is why he gets the Wolfie of this episode.
Referring to Eden as Mr. Australia 2024.
Yes! Yeah, absolutely.
The final category was, I've deleted it again. Just being into yourself, I think is the gist. So, look, I've drafted Andrew. I love Andrew. Dani, though, you haven't watched Backyard Season 3.
No.
Am I correct?
No.
And look, he set the bar so high in Backyard 3 that I've seen
the first episode, so I got a taste of Andrew, but I haven't seen the rest.
Look, you haven't seen him be immune from a rock draw and then shame someone else into not going to rocks. So that's
cool.
I don't think you can go past that.
That was the particular moment. But as he said, like what we're doing to the impressions, we are a shining light. And we are shining.
The sun shines
always shines over the darkness.
Over the black.
Over the darkness.
Sun shines over the darkness, the black. And the other tribe are not going to succeed, nor should they succeed, because they do not have the mental capability to take it. To me, I'm not doing very well. That's not my best one. I'll try and do it later. So people are tuning out. Sorry, Andrew. I love Andrew.
We love him. He's a great character.
Dani, that's fine. It's your pick. Let's go. I personally would have felt my vote might have gone for Lauren, but we'll let you make the call, so that's fine.
She's not narcissistic at all.
No,
I don't
I think her name came up because she's too quiet.
I think the name came up because she was a bit standoffish, aka aloof, aka arrogant. But I think
it was more. Yeah, I was thinking it was quiet. I don't think it was arrogant. No one's always arrogant. They were just like she's hard to read.
The thing is, though, Andrew's very much misplayed this, but that doesn't matter. We're not giving awards for playing well because he wasn't able to influence. We're going to do the end and then come at the start, I suppose. He wasn't able to influence the vote in the way that he usually can because Lauren wanted to work with him, but he decided to target Lauren. And Lauren was actually the one hookup he needed to perhaps build then the bond around, because he had bonds with other people, but he just started on the wrong foot with Lauren. And she wanted to work with him. I think that was a huge mistake for him, not identifying that she had made some social headway. When they did, perhaps it was the duos, the coupling, and
we did some work.
Straight to the end, like the buddy system that Oscar puts into place, I think is part of the reason Andrew is on the outs because he was with Amy initially.
But why is Amy being targeted?
She's too social.
And they don't want they're all kind of excited by the idea of working with Andrew because they see him as threatening, but they think it could be like fun to like play the game with. Whereas they don't think they can be. They just saw Amy as like a very much a social threat to them moving forward. Whereas Andrew, they can see the capacity for like rubbing people the wrong way. So no, he can be a get at any point, but there's also a vote at any point, which is why I think then his 2IC was the option.
I agree.
All credit to Andrew in this episode. He did not get his way, and he appeared to look. He tried to change it once he found out the vote was Amy a little bit, but he realized quite quickly that was not going to eventuate. Obviously, backtracked and then voted for her. Sensible play for a smart strategician, and I'll be really interested to see how he regroups. Now that he is effectively, I know he voted for her, but he is effectively on the outs in terms of being last one into that grouping that formed 100%.
Up.
Well, I think
which is not where he was at the start of the episode. No,
you go.
No, I was saying that's not where he was at the start of the episode. It was really fun to watch this whole the turnabout of it all. Oh yeah, it was really interesting. And I credit to my girl Lauren. She put in work. She was like I said to you at the end of last episode, she was in danger. I was just she was the first name up there at the beginning, and now she's just that one-on-one time, the coupling really worked in her favor.
I know she's your girl, but that was the highest person on my draft list that I didn't get. So I was also quite high on her before we started. But yeah, the thing with Andrew is that a lot of people talked about him as someone that they want to work with, but not necessarily within their alliance. They all want to sort of have majority alliance and then have him on the outside that we can pull in for a number. And that's really not the spot you want to be in.
I think, what do we think about Andrew's concerns with Lauren? She says she wants to work with him. He says, I don't want to work with her because A, she has an old school Survivor t-shirt on. B, has a
but all right.
I know, I thought it was an odd choice. I've got a note here, like, she's wearing an old school Survivor shirt.
I love the shirt, but I wouldn't be wearing it.
I wouldn't have worn it, no.
Say that for jury.
Well, I also would never wear a Boston Rob hat to any of these things. I think like a Boston Red Sox hat, that would be crazy. But also she has a tattoo of.
Where's the tattoo? I haven't seen it.
It must be on her arm because Andrew's seen it. He said she's got a tattoo of a Survivor torch.
Lauren, if you're watching and it is shown anywhere, can you please direct us to where to look? I love tattoos, so I want to see it.
Yes, I would also like to see the Survivor torch tattoo. So she can't do much to hide that. But Andrew's not worried about her being a super fan because she's got a Survivor tattoo. He's worried that maybe she's seen Exile. Do we think that's a bridge too far?
Yes. And there's another propensity for narcissism. Like, it's just like, surely.
Well, Loz was wearing that shirt as she was an on-site alternate and she was dressed to crew. I did wonder why she had a black t-shirt and a yellow jumper.
Oh, she's got one of each, I see.
On the drive to Canberra that she was playing. Wow.
I don't mind. Look, I don't think the shirts, we've discussed it before, but I think Andrew's taking it a bit too far to assume that Survivor fan has watched Backyard.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a possibility because, if she is a huge super fan, before I played, I had not watched anything. I think I watched half of Warren Dirt because I was going to play Melbourne, but I hadn't seen any others. But if of anyone who is likely to have seen it, she would be most likely.
Yeah, look, it's possible. It's possible, but
if she's seen it, she remembers him though.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying, like,
he's not a forgettable character.
The only people watching these things are people that are in the community already. But that said, she was an alternate. She was crewing. Maybe she is also in the community to some extent. So some credit to that. Okay. She does a great move in bringing in Ed. Shaw's thing up with him. But I think also who really get all of this going effectively is Oscar and Pauline in the two sides of the gender reveal alliance.
Yeah.
Gender alliance. Two sides of the gender reveal alliance, or the gender reveal alliance, as we'll call them, with the hats. I think they really got the ball rolling on this boot.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Oscar did. I don't know how much Pauline was involved. Now, I love Pauline. She's on my team. But then when we see that there's a majority alliance form, her name isn't really mentioned as I've got it written down somewhere. So Oscar brings in Todd, Loz, Sab, and then Ed is the fifth. There's no mention of Pauline.
I think this is just a factor though of being in the pairs and then grouping up with another pair, and they're sort of all there, and they're like, I think it really was an alliance of 6. I don't think this has really done much to draw the lines in this tribe.
No.
Even with Andrew, I don't think Andrew is necessarily next out.
No, I agree. I think this is still a very fluid tribe.
Why don't we jump back? You got the notes. We talked about the
back to the very beginning.
Let's go back to the beginning. As we regroup on what happens with the Rando Bird tribe following their tribal council. They're very messy,
at the Swamp of Sadness.
messy tribal council. Oh, yes. The outcome of the messy tribal council, Jay in the Swamp of Sadness, but it's not sad for him, is it?
He calls it the Swamp of Rejuvenation. It's very peaceful. There's a creek, and he's upset there's no donkey to keep him company, which fair.
I don't think Dan knows what a swamp is, because that's not a swamp.
That's not a swamp. But I think they like the alliteration.
It was so serene. It was so serene.
Yeah,
I love alliteration as well.
Me too. So yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so we sort of get everyone's aftermath of the vote. Squin hadn't even heard Aiden's name, so she was surprised. Eden thought that he was getting votes, and that's why he had to flip his vote. Everyone is hugging Aiden, and it's super awkward.
So awkward.
I was
just like, oh, stop it.
I don't think Aiden's much of a hugger in everyday life.
He's clearly
not.
Now
he has to hug all these fuckers that like just voted for him so he can socially reintegrate himself in this nonsense. Must be his worst nightmare, I reckon.
But he dug his heels in, like kept trying to push for like why the vote was him. He's like, have I done something wrong? If I did anything, can anyone talk to me about it? Like I was pushing, and they were giving him crickets.
Giving him nothing. He did say that, he was aware that people might have been talking about him. People were avoiding eye contact. And he thinks it might have something to do with the challenge. Aiden's quite perceptive of what's going on.
I wrote that too. I was like, he's read this very well.
He said Eden and Maddie are very close, and they have a 4 with Anthea and Bethany. Like straight off the bat, he knows that.
Yeah.
And like talking about how people are avoiding eye contact, and we see a few clips of people not really wanting to look at him. So yeah, good on him for being perceptive enough, but then not really being able to do too much about it. I do feel like he's probably next to go if they go back to trial.
Was it him that stated, they might try and bring someone across, but it does feel like those 4 may have already formed a 4? Was that Aiden that said that? Yeah, he's on the money. To be fair, Maddie and Eden are not subtle about it. Like they're constantly whispering to each other in front of everybody else.
They're besties already.
Though Eden is thinking about abandoning his women-only thing that we were sold off the bat and perhaps making a move on Bethany in the future. Was that correct?
We hear a few people talk about, we think Bethany's running the tribe. And Eden says, I think she's running it, and I would team up with the Squin, John, Aiden group to vote her out.
It's very interesting from Eden. I think he just wants to be chaos. He's giving me real Laurel energy in just wanting to bring the chaos, wanting to be interesting, not wanting to be part of the flow.
Yeah,
I think he just wants to be running the tribe.
I thought it was super interesting when they were doing the Kumbaya chat, trying to not tell Aiden what happened. Maddie, in like the middle of it, like coming out and being like, I was trying to count the vote, like just talking about how strategic she was in her thinking. I was just like, shut up.
Stop
Talking. I was just like, she's like, yes, I was trying to figure out like who voted for who. So 2 people swapped, like one swapped and the other swapped. Then I was like, you do that in a one-on-one conversation with your major ally. Like that's not a group chat discussion to be had. I was like, shush. It's like you are like, because she's so social and clearly liked by enough people within the tribe. But I was like, let that be your front thing. Don't let them see how strategic you are too. Like, don't talk about counting votes at your first tribal council. Like, shush. I was like, that was bold at that moment. That's what I thought.
And they had a funny little conversation.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Look, I understand that. I can see that. I can fully see that. But it's
I relate.
Like, pick the things that you talk about with the right people.
Well, they do have a little private conversation, Ed and Maddie, where they try and figure out what went wrong. I didn't feel I got a lot of clarity out of what was showed to me in the episode about what actually went wrong there, or what Eden thought was happening, or what Maddie thought was happening.
Maddie said she did that on her arm, and apparently that should have been enough to say where she vote for Aiden.
Aiden, yeah.
I guess it's an A. Yeah.
I would be like, what's 2?
Yeah, if you did, yeah, I'd be like, what?
Why was did we understand why Eden wasn't clued in that it was an Aiden vote?
That was her cluing him in.
Yeah, I understand, but did he maybe just missed it in the last minute because he was doing a confed? We don't know.
I think it was at tribal council. I don't know if it was like, I think the A was at tribal council, wasn't it?
Yeah, but like, why did she not?
I think it was a conversation just before.
Is what I'm saying. Why did she not tell him at camp that the move had moved to Aiden?
I don't know.
Okay, so they weren't on the same page. They may not still be on the page because Eden's looking to maybe shake things up. I think, look, he's throwing it up there, and it feels like one of those moments where the Survivor producers are like, well, maybe what about something else you might consider doing? Like, so they've got some sort of alternate content, because he then goes on to say, yeah, but I'm probably not going to do that because that seems a bit crazy.
They're not right now. It's like, it's not going to be the next thing I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Bethany's someone you need to flip on early. I think Bethany is actually a reasonably good shield for Eden.
Absolutely, especially the way that people are talking about her, like being a leader of the tribe.
As soon as there's a swap, you know that everyone on the bottom is going to be like, yeah, Bethany was running the tribe, and she's gone.
Yeah.
And then we obviously have Squin, who sort of figured out what's happening to an extent, and John's pretty onto it.
John is admitting that Jay's copping the heat for throwing Eden's name, but he was the one that actually threw it out first. And he's like, well, Jay's the only one that knows that, and he's gone. So
yeah,
I think he said his allies know it too.
His allies, he trusts them.
He does trust them, and they seem to be a solid 3. It's going to be very interesting because the 4 that we have combined, we only really had as a 4 because they found the advantage together. 3 of them found the advantage together. Eden sort of wandered into it, and we were sort of shipping Eden's original strategy of grouping up the women, or I was anyway, thinking it was going to be the master play, and it sort of worked out like that. So I did my sort of victory lap on that, but there's the potential that, you know, if maybe they miss another tribal, maybe, you know, it takes some time. I could see maybe an Anthea maybe wanting to make a move. Eden obviously is thinking about it. He's getting like itchy fingers about wanting to pull a trigger on something.
Well, Maddie was even talking to John. She was like, I really want to work with you. Like, what kind of, that was a conversation that was had. There's no defined lines yet. It's like they're like carved out, but it's not solid.
Yeah, and I think an alliance that forms the way that one did, just these are the people that happen to be together, they don't often last that long. Whereas the other group was like, these are the 3 people that I trust and I actually want to work with. It's a smaller group, but it's a stronger group.
Yes.
And I can't see any of them flipping on each other.
No.
I also think the level of speculation and uncertainty about the vote, where the numbers did not go the way the people in that alliance anticipated it to go, has left them some pause. There was a lot of discussion about what had happened. No one could be particularly clear on it, partly because it was in a group conversation, but equally people weren't just very clear about it. So, you know, it didn't really affect anyone. Like, no one's particularly bothered to see Jay go. Sorry, Jay, but that's the truth of it. But, you know, when you're going into that first vote, it's about building that trust, and you expect to see the names on the pages, the parchments that will give you the numbers that you expect to be the vote. Now, it didn't really matter, but you've got this level of uncertainty. Whereas, as you say, Aiden, Squin, John, I think are very certain that they know that they were the originally 3 of the votes, at least for Jay, correct? And then equally they stuck to their. Did they stick to their? And then 2 of them stuck, obviously, again with voting for Jay. So they were consistent in their promises to one another.
Plus Eden. And then on the revote, Eden flipped, but so did Maddie.
So it's 2 plus Maddie. But they know they're consistent. And then, of course, the discussion we had last week about the way it played out with the rocks, they were both very clear, particularly John first, that he would not be amenable to voting out Aiden. And so I think they have a greater level of trust. And I think you're right. The other alliance is not as on such a solid foundation.
Because like it only takes one rogue vote to just throw discord into like that little built trust that you've got. Like I've been there, I've seen that. Like that's just, and then the trust is gone because you're just like, what? Especially when people can't admit to it.
You know, it could be something as simple as a misplay by an Eden or a Maddie if they're trying to build trust with the other group, and they might mention Anthea's advantage or something. Yeah. You know, and then
that group of 4, I think they were happy for either of those 2 to go. They didn't they might have had a preference, but either of those 2 would have been fine. So their priority should have just been trying to get a near unanimous vote so that the tribe comes back cohesive. Like that should be the goal of your first tribal.
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know why they were so keen on protecting Jay.
Well, they weren't at the end. They were willing to cut him.
I know, but you know, the vote should have naturally just become Jay. And you're right. Then their alliance isn't as exposed.
Yeah. Yeah, for a first, I mean, no, we're going all the way back, but like for a first round to be that messy, it doesn't bode well for trust building, which is like what you want to do with the first vote.
That's the Canberra standard, though. That's how they do it in Canberra. Messy rock votes. Vote 1.
It's my worst nightmare.
3 out of 3. If we go to...
my notes are a little bit all over the place because we already talked about the Anthea's advantage. But that's all I've really got for their tribe. Is there anything else before we go to the yellow tribe?
No, speak back to my boys and girls, the yellows.
Yeah.
That we're never going to lose. Never.
This is all just them all being really happy, and I'm bored because they're all just, they're all in little confessionals. I love this person. I really like this person. Yawn. Give me a bitch fest. Who don't you like? Who's pissing you off? This is a social game.
I was pissed off that I was sitting around a table, but then I've accepted that the table may have just been part of the reward because later on they're on the ground. But I don't like these tables.
Yeah. You know what really irked me, and because you brought it to my attention last week, okay, the fucking sunglasses.
Sunglasses?
From everybody, and I was just like,
couldn't unsee it now.
I can't unsee it, and I was just like, it drove me crazy the whole episode.
There's a confessional where Amy's holding hers, and I thought of you immediately. I'm like, okay, someone's told her to take them off, or she's just looking, the sun's behind her or something, she doesn't need them. But yeah, no, get rid of the sunglasses.
I can't read you. Take them off.
That's the thing, right? You can't read people. I can't read them as the audience, and other people can't read them. Like I do it sometimes.
You see so much in their eyes, even if they're trying to say something. Eyes are like such dead giveaways. It's huge.
I've done it a few times at the poker table. People get pissed off with you about it, but frankly, I'm trying to win money.
I get what you're doing at a poker table. That makes sense.
That's why you do it. I'm not trying to give away my eyes, and I will react with my eyes, and so. You know, it's exactly
if I'm telling you something, am I looking left or am I looking right? Am I trying to remember or am I making something up?
Yeah, I don't like it. It looks to me, it just reeks of Survivor Borneo, which obviously was the creator of everything that we're talking about. The reason we're here today, 25 years later. But the fact is, they wear sunglasses and it looks a bit amateur hour. It looks a bit.
And it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good. And Survivor never did it again or allowed it again, and I wouldn't allow it. Here, I don't like it, and I would be taking those away.
Yeah, don't be crazy.
Yeah,
but no, I made a particular.
Now you've ruined it for us because I hadn't noticed it until you said something. So thank you for that.
Now you know. There is a fun moment here with Todd and the coffee, which everyone seems to be able to figure out that it was Todd that poured out the coffee, looking for an advantage. He thought he was being all stealthy, went to the bathroom, and they realized the coffee's been poured out. And it was either Todd or Ed. Is that the choices?
I think so.
And
they all pretty quickly know it's Todd. But I love his reasoning that it wasn't sealed properly. So that's why he wanted to look into it, which, like, that's a CK move if I've ever heard of one. You would have done that.
I would have poured it into a cup. And then
you would have noticed, though, that it's not sealed, though, is my point.
Yeah, I like this, but I would have poured it into one of the many cups that they were drinking coffee out of.
And then poured it back?
And then poured it back. I wouldn't have left it up to end, 100%.
Yeah, better TV this way. So thank you, Todd, for the good TV moment. It gave us a potential even third alternate boot to think about. Like I thought, well, maybe it's going to be Todd.
I was surprised that there wasn't more of a target on him for it.
Yeah, it was a bit of a red herring, but those are very valuable when you're watching the show to keep your suspense alive. He said people were coming. There was no time. He just said,
put it into a tray. You pour it into a cup, though. Like, how do you pour from a tray? Like, that's obvious. But if you like went one quick to the other,
I think what he's saying is he just dumped it quickly.
Yeah, someone's coming.
Because otherwise, maybe he would have just like fiddled around in it with his like fingers, perhaps. You know, gross. But that's what he wanted.
Maybe. We get So there's the discussions of. The first discussion of a name coming up is
blaming the size of the cups. Yeah, well, you know, like.
All right. Look, all I'm hearing is excuses, you know.
Yeah, correct.
Poor tradesmen blame the tools.
Right, okay.
But yeah, I was discussing Loz's name is being put out there. We get Andrew's analogy of running this game like it's an emergency room. If not, I'll be the one with the flat line going beep. We've lost CK. CK's gone beep.
I just lost my camera.
You've lost your camera. Well, we don't want to see you anyway. It's fine.
Are we coming back? Don't you worry. You just keep going.
All right. Yeah, look, there's not too much that happens there. It's just, they're all one big happy family and I'm bored. So we go to the challenge and it's when the Swamp of Sadness is announced. And Ed is super excited about it, the way he's excited about everything.
Little puppy dog.
He
wants
just,
a duel to the death.
We're back.
He wants a duel to the death.
He's like, if I find myself there, I'll duel to the death. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm like, you need to calm down.
That's a good impression.
How long before that rubs on people? Sorry, how long before the excitement rubs on people?
Yeah, like another 2 hours, I'd be ready to slap him.
Ed's going to dominate.
He's another one that needs to be shushed.
He's going to dominate at the Swamp of Sadness when he's there.
Just 100%.
He's not going to get there.
Absolutely.
No. Why would you get rid of this guy?
Why would you ride a puppy dog?
No.
I love my dog. She drives me crazy, but I love her. So
Ed was my number one pick, and I'm very pleased with that pick.
Ed is a typical first merge boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, he potentially, but he just doesn't seem very strategic. Depends what he can pull off.
He does have
but physically is enough of a threat at the merge, but you're looking at who's going to beat you at immunity. And for the first merge vote, as a consensus,
that's what
you're looking
look
at the physical beast.
That's what you look at as someone who is good at challenges. That's something that crosses your mind. As someone who is probably never going to win an immunity challenge, I don't care.
But to get a consensus from a group of people.
Yeah. But I think
he's an easy target.
He had a part in the scramble where he talked about he wants everyone to see him as a yes man. And I think that's the perfect strategy for him.
Very smart. Very smart.
Because he is such a physical target, he needs to make himself not a strategic one. And so if he's just, I'll do whatever you want. It's a great way for him to stick around. I hope he's willing to change that up when it gets closer to the end game, because otherwise he's going to be a 0-vote finalist.
100%.
I think he just needs to do something. I think he could just play Modern Survivor. As long as he makes a move somewhere near the end, it'll probably be enough, given how likable he is to get through. But he does need a move. He can't just do nothing. Yeah.
But also, it's not like we see a million physical challenges, particularly in Canberra. They love a puzzle. They love a balance challenge. So he might not even be a challenge beast.
I would say Canberra is one of the more physical ones of the season. So don't forget, Nick went on an absolute tear last season because he was the fittest and strongest.
I'm just going back to that ridiculously hard puzzle that they had. So
yes, but Nick won like a bunch of immunities all in a row, and they weren't it was his physical ability that got him through those.
There was, big time.
But anyway, so we get to the challenge. We've got 3 players got to weave through cones. They've got to pull out some house numbers from a bucket, open a lock, and then do the little balancy thing. What did we think of this challenge?
I liked it.
It's something different, something we haven't seen before. I loved it.
A little, a bit of everything, physical but running, so not having to go up against each other, it's competition. And then table maze, obviously so hard with the tiny little balls, tiny little holes. Talking about balls and holes the whole challenge. Dan was channeling his JLP. Immature little person I am. I was just giggling about balls.
We all love it.
Liv was also giggling. They had to sort of cut him after. Dan just looked there with a sly smile. I liked it. I liked the amount of strategy that was available in it.
Yes.
You saw the yellow tribe adopted.
I thought that was so smart. Yeah, with the yellow tribe.
I actually think it was not necessary because we've seen this thing, the Ed going and pulling out all of the numbers first. We've seen that in there's a big sand pit, and the reason you do that is so that the same people aren't digging in the same spot where nothing's to be found. But it's a small bucket. There's only so many places you can dig. And
it worked, didn't it?
Yellow came out with a bit of a lead, but it's mainly because John went to the wrong bucket. I think if John had gone to the right bucket, it probably would have been fairly even.
But I think John went to the wrong bucket because he saw those numbers just sitting there at the top of the bucket. He's like, they're right here. He went
to grab it and run away, and they were like, no, go to the other bucket.
He was attracted a random.
The yellow tribe just approach challenges really strategically.
Yeah.
It was just for John, I want to say he was attracted to it like a rando bird to a shiny object.
Well, if you've got a pink and a green bucket for a yellow and a black tribe, make your buckets match the tribe colors.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I'm big on that.
But anyway, black wins immunity, and it's not even close. Yellow is still all over the place. There's
also a strategy on the locks that neither of them adopted. You should have been doing each combo on both lock each time.
Yes.
Aren't you losing time by turning it around every time?
Yeah, but then you don't have to go through all the numbers again.
It's only 3 numbers. There's not that many different combinations.
Oh, I think. How many combinations are there? I think there's quite a few.
There'd only be 6.
6?
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 numbers.
3 numbers, 3 spots, 6 combinations.
It says 1,000.
There's
1,000?
They've only got 3 options. There's 1,000 if you've got every single digit available.
Hang on, that was 0 to 9.
3 options. You've only got 6 combinations. It's not that hard.
No, because do you know the numbers? Yeah, okay.
You know what the numbers are.
All right. I don't see
don't question me on this, CK. I know.
There's 7.
I'll
This
spell
thing
it
said
out
there's
for you.
7. 7. It says 7.
Why is there 7?
Well, you want to know what it says?
You've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2. That is it.
I'm just looking at the internet, mate. Like,
There's 6.
fine. I still think though, considering it was
nerd. Todd, is this now a maths podcast? Yes, it is.
No, if it's a math podcast, I need to go. I am not
Isn't
a
the
math
podcast of Jules proving CK wrong. That is what it's always been.
It's not even my view. I'm just reading random shit off the internet. Is Todd the maths teacher, or is he just pretending to be a maths teacher?
Sab gets me.
Can we remember? Is he pretending to be a maths teacher?
He's pretending to be he's a primary school teacher, isn't he?
No,
he's a vice principal pretending to not be a vice
principal. Yeah, he's just not being a principal.
Yeah.
So the point I want to make though is it was not made clear though if the combinations were going to be the same on both locks. In fact,
they said it might be or it might not be.
That's right. So if they are different, then I think you are better off doing both locks simultaneously. If they're the same, obviously
then you're losing a lot of time as opposed to just going like.
Why don't you just turn the box to its side and you go here and then you go there?
You still I'm the type of person that argues when I'm walking up the ramp at the MCG if I should cut through the middle or go all the way around because it saves time to go all the way around. So I
think about that too. I don't think that makes a difference. I think it's the same distance.
It does. No, because you lose time on the turn. Sorry, we're boring, Danny.
I don't give a fuck. Can we move on?
Danny's never been to the MCG.
Have you walked up the ramp at the MCG? That fucker is long.
I don't think Danny's been to the MCG. She doesn't like that sort of football.
I like the MCG.
Okay.
Anyway. So Black Queen's immunity.
Well, we haven't talked about how bad Yellow were at the balls. Like,
so we talked about them approaching it strategically. Their strategy was to have everyone just sort of hold it, and Todd was doing all of the guiding. I don't know if that was the right strategy.
I think there was so many balls and so many holes, so you're better off just let it go free for all for a little bit, and then try to get the balance in, which is I think what Black did.
And the holes, they were small, but there was like little divots around them. So once the balls were in, they weren't really falling out unless you whacked it with another one.
So they were well constructed. Yeah, it was well constructed that they won't come out. So just shivering around a bit, and then maybe you've got half of them or 5, 6, I don't know, to get in, and then you just focus on those. I think that's what Black might have done.
Yeah, because you notice when they were getting towards the end, the few they didn't have in, they weren't like together. They were sort of all. This feels like we are so close to causing my passion.
Queuing.
Well, then I will have a long conversation with you about this afterwards because I find that fascinating as well.
Is this that we should not queuing's a waste of time? I don't stand in queues. I don't like it.
We can debate this with Pauline when she comes on the podcast. It doesn't need to be discussed now. Keep moving.
Sorry, Danny. Anyway, we get back to Yellow. Look, we've already discussed a lot of the strategy of the buddy system. What did we think of the buddy system?
I think it's a smart way to get it moving because it is so. If that when you go back to camp for the first time you got to vote, trying to split off without making it obvious is so hard to do. It just it's awkward. Like no matter how obvious your alliances are, to just suddenly be like, I'm just going to take this person over here. I think it was really smart. I don't think it it makes it really hard to, again, like I made a comment about Dan's comment, like, how do you reach consensus in pairs? I thought that was a really smart question at Tribal of Dan, because I don't think you can reach a consensus unless you're like, find another 2 or another, like, 6, then meet up.
You potentially have 4 names coming up.
Exactly, and then you're swapping pairs. You're not going with one pair to and like another, like single.
And you come back around.
It's just, I like it to start the conversation. I don't like it to continue strategy.
Well, the big factor is I don't think there was a swapping of pairs. I didn't see other 2 one-on-one conversations, if I can recall, with the various.
There were a lot of groups coming together, but
it was groups post pairs. So I think whoever then basically, I think what probably happened potentially is that Andrew and Amy spent a bit longer chatting because, he loves to have a chat. And then the others got done. They quickly put something together and then grouped up again. Andrew and Amy didn't need to chat really at all. They should have just gone, yep, we're good. What's our target? Great. I'll go speak to those guys. You go speak to those guys. And let's see if we can pull something together. I feel that the buddy system was a real disadvantage for anyone that let it go on too long. And that's what I feel like might have happened, because maybe the plan was to swap around, but it doesn't look like it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, look. But if we look at the pairs, it's Andrew and Amy are the ones that are kind of, Amy's obviously left out of the vote and Andrew's brought in last minute. We've got Ed and Loz, we've got Sab and Todd, and we've got Pauline and Oscar. I don't think these are necessarily core pairs that are going to be ride or dies throughout the game, but I think it was those 3 pairs that came together to really get rid of Amy. So look, I agree with you, Dani, that it's a good way to start the conversation, but get rid of that real quick.
Yeah, or like take your pair and find another pair in the bushes.
Yeah,
like find the pair that you want to work with, and that makes complete sense, but just didn't seem like that happened. And
it doesn't seem like that happened. Yeah. What was also interesting, and I wondered if this was deliberate, that all the pairs were a man and a woman.
I like that, though. I like that it was mixed.
Well, and I want to know how the pairs were decided. Is it just the person standing next to you, off you go, and that's how we get our gender reveal pair together? Or was there any strategy in how the pairs were chosen?
I'm shipping them together for the rest of the season. I'm shipping them to get married and wear those hats at their wedding. That's what I want.
Okay, Oscar's a child.
How I told her is Pauline.
There was a lot of conversation about him being a lot younger than everyone else. So I feel like, isn't he like 19?
Say 20. It's fine. It's all legal.
And it's legal. That doesn't mean that I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. They might be a happy couple now for all I know.
I want to see them married in those hats.
Cute.
That's what I want to see.
Pauline, are you and Oscar dating now? Like, I don't know. Anyway, so we talked about Andrew and Amy suggesting Loz. There's not really much there. Oscar seems to want to work with everyone, because every single name that came up in that conversation, but I want to work with her. I want to work with him. Like, I don't know that there was anyone that he doesn't want to work with. He's done a complete 180 and wants to work with Loz now.
Well, he seems to be the one who puts that out there to everybody that he wants to keep Loz. He seems to be the instigator of that.
Yeah. I feel like Loz was just playing old school Survivor, and when it was finally time to actually vote for someone, she decided to put the work in to actually put something together, and everyone was in for it. Don't forget, Oscar's name was available and being mentioned earlier by Ed and Todd. Was it Ed and Todd?
No, it was Ed and Loz.
Because they're the plus 29 club.
Yeah.
I'm here for that club.
We all are, aren't we all? Todd said they went around the circle and was the person standing next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That tracks. There's an interesting moment in the conversation with Oscar and Pauline. I think he's trying to tell her, I want to work with you, I like you, but he says, I think you're a good player. Oh, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, alarm bells, get you out of here. Like, no, like when I play an org and someone comes to me, I watched you play this org, go away. Go. I don't want you knowing anything about the game that I'm playing. So I don't think he meant that. I think he just meant, you're someone I want to work with, but poor choice of words.
I think that there's been a bit of discussion about the sort of game you'll play in this tribe and who you want to work with based on the way they'll play. And I think that was the factor of the conversation. Pauline said she's 10 years older than Oscar, and everyone past Oscar was literally in primary school. Never say never. That's all I have to say, Pauline. Never say never.
No, she's with her partner.
Things happen. Life changes, you know. Life finds a way.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Pauline. We want to break you up with your partner, your long-term partner, so that you can end up with a man 10 years younger than you.
Alternate solution, Oscar could give Pauline's partner his hat.
That's a much better solution.
That assumes that Pauline's partner is a man. If Pauline's partner happens to be a woman, we just need to acquire a second pink hat.
You can have a blue hat. Who cares? Girls can wear blue. Okay. Anyway.
Boys used to wear pink back in the 1920s. Do you know that?
What was that?
Pink was a boy's colour.
We still wear pink. I put Riley in pink. He loves pink.
No, but it was actually a boy's colour.
Yeah, it was a boy colour, yeah.
In 1920.
Okay, there's a lot of stuff in 1920 that we don't want to go back to. So
this is fascinating. Anyway, we
digress again.
Oh, the amount of tangents we've gone on tonight. It's amazing we're only 51 minutes in.
This is what happens when we don't have an interview. Blame the swamp of sadness. Blame the swamp of sadness.
Keeping this under an hour with an interview is difficult.
We're going to be snappy. If you want the extra shit, tune in when no one's eliminated. We can just wax the record nonsense.
It's how they get to know us. It's how they fall in love with us as orcas.
We'll get someone to interview next week, I assume.
Yeah, someone. Yeah, if there's a.
Why don't we talk about that? Who's going to win the challenge? Is it going to be Jay or is it going to be Amy? We got to see quite a bit of the components of the challenge in the next time on.
I didn't watch the next time on. Can you please share what we saw?
There was a puzzle. There was some throwing stuff. Maybe a third part.
I like that it's different elements.
Yeah.
So it doesn't favor just one person. They've talked about how Amy, Andrew's reasoning for wanting to keep Amy was that she basically solved the word puzzle in the first episode. So is she particularly good at puzzles? What are Jay's strengths? I don't know. We'll find out.
I'm hoping Amy's got all the puzzle and all the throwing strengths because she was drafted by me, and I don't want her to go.
Well, Jay was drafted on my team, so Dani, you get the deciding vote.
I have no dog in this fight. I'm going to enjoy you two fighting each other.
Whoever it is, I will be happy to talk to you next week.
I think the form of the show is going to work really well with a challenge at the start. I think it was really good on Backyard 4. I think it's going to work really well here. It will probably be, you'd assume, Swamp of Sadness, like greeting, because we didn't get that at the end of the episode. I would have liked that, you know, how they used to do that in Redemption, like then they walk into the camp.
Yeah, you see them go to,
Oh, hey.
Yeah. What happened? We'll have a bit of that, then maybe the tribe, and then back to the challenge, and then the other tribe, and then something like that. But I think it would be good to break it up.
Do the tribes get to watch?
No, look, I would say no. Based on Redemption, I asked that question at some point, I believe. Look, the issue is just time. Moving them to what you run these things at the same time. They can be doing that challenge or they be doing that challenge, particularly with the two hosts, which I mentioned last week.
Yeah.
For the time efficiency, it's very difficult to be dragging the tribes out to watch the challenge.
Yeah,
the only way you'd be able to do it is if their challenge is literally right before the immunity challenge. Like with Redemption, you guys are already here. Watch this. All right, you guys can go now. Do your challenge.
I don't think you got the time for two challenges.
You don't, because then you got to set up.
Redemption, they did watch the battle to get back in the game. Like
that makes sense. You want to see that.
Everyone could watch that, but I don't think it works to be watched here.
I do like it on the Redemption Island season where you only had like 2 people from each tribe go and watch. But yeah, I think that they probably can't be doing that.
That's an interesting one. You could only do that, and maybe this is something people can consider for a future game that's doing this format. They can go and watch, but they don't participate in the challenge.
Yes, they're like the sit-outs of that tribe. Yeah.
But you might have someone, so you're either participating and helping your travel and immunity, or you're getting information. It's sort of like or, like people can put their hand up if they're going to go or not, and you can just leave your tribe with one person, like getting stuck with the tribe. Like, because everyone said, yeah, I'll go for the information.
Yeah, I enjoy watching people throw challenges too much. Next time someone wants to throw a challenge, all they have to do is go, oh, we'll all go and watch the thing. Like, I love when people try and throw a challenge. It's so fun to watch them try and be subtle.
You get that sort of behavior in orgs sometimes when they allow those sorts of things because people just go wild. Is there anything more about the show that you want to raise, Jules or Dani?
I think we've covered everything in a bit of a up and down way. We didn't stick to my notes, which is hurting my brain a little bit, but we think we've talked about everything.
I think this was a better flow than doing it linearly.
I did like that Liv was giving them a little bit of trash for the pairs thing. She's like, well, you're not going to be able to do pairs next time.
Good luck voting in pairs now.
It could be the other 3 pairs and Andrew sitting in the waiting room for the Swamp of Sadness, which would be very sad.
Could be. I don't think so.
Who are you guys going to call as Jules? Tell me who do you think would get voted out? Pick a tribe, and then Dani can do the other one.
I will go the yellow tribe, and I don't think we'll see Andrew go. I could see it potentially still slipping back into Loz.
And Dani, if you were if the rando bird tribe goes to tribal, who would you be voting out? Who do you think will be being voted out? My apologies.
Yeah.
Slam dunk on Aiden, or does something?
Yeah, I think it brings back to Aiden. I don't think there's enough. I don't think that I don't see the swapping of alliances happening this soon.
Rip my fantasy team.
And where do you think we get a swap?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's this episode. I called it last week. I think we're getting it.
No, I think one more.
It's just with the dual mechanic a little bit.
One more would be a swap at 13.
I think 12.
12's pretty standard, though. That's why I'm thinking early.
Can we presume no one's getting back in the game until merge? You can't just have people coming back.
I assume it's someone.
I would assume merge,
and that's it.
Maybe there could be another redemption battle afterwards, perhaps.
I don't like that.
It's funny in Redemption Island when Mac got voted out twice.
I know, but any of these like Redemption Island, Edge of Extinction, whatever, where you get a chance to come back in, I think I don't like it post-merge because like if we look at the Edge of Extinction season, I think I'm in the majority here where I say that I don't think Chris Underwood is a good winner, but I would have been very happy for a Devon to win.
Chris deserved to win of the final 3.
But he wasn't there for the entire game.
Yeah, but the quality 5 days. That was a top-notch 5 days. He just puts it all.
He set the bar. Now, if you want to win, you gotta put yourself into fire.
Mm-hmm. You had the fastest fire of all time before Gabler. Okay. I actually look. I think if we say it to clarify, I think this redemption's really good. Actually, I think it's better than Edge of Extinction.
I agree.
What it's really doing, the most important thing about it is it's giving the people that come to one of these LRGs and get voted out very early an opportunity to still be part of the game, to still be part of their story, to be in more episodes than 1 or 2, even if it's just for a moment or for a challenge, while they watch it with their friends, their family, themselves, whatever they enjoy. And I think it's more about you if it's a one-on-one challenge than random confessionals in the Edge of Extinction. Now, it might mean that Amy goes right away if that's what happens, she's out. But she's still got that extra, she's in the 3rd episode. And even if that ends at merge, which I think you're right is probably where it should be, I think that's just a great experience for the pre-mergers to have in terms of it being a more full experience. And that's what EOE tries to do. I think this does it better.
I like the Redemption Island, the Jules twist, because it makes it harder for the first person voted out to get back in. What I don't like about Edge of Extinction, especially when there are things to be found, it's much more of an advantage to be the early one out versus the person who just got voted out. It's almost harder for them to get back in. So I think it should be, the last person voted out should have the easiest chance to get back in.
I never thought about the sport. You're right. Boston Rob was screwed in Winners at War.
I mean, he was screwed the minute he was cast.
Yeah, I'm just a Boston Rob stan, so I'm just going to say he was screwed.
They're never going to let him get anywhere near that end game.
Natalie had too many advantages. I hear what you're saying. Natalie had too many advantages. I get it. Okay. Well, I think we've waxed lyrical about random Survivor twists for long enough. Thank you for joining me, Jules. Thank you for joining me, Dani. And let's acknowledge the wonderful cast members who are here live.
Thank you so much, guys. We love it.
Love it.
Pauline and her chipped relationship with Oscar. Sorry, Pauline's partner of 10 years. Todd, Mr. Coffee, Todd, Sabrina. What in the world? Thank you for being here. Lovely to have you. And everyone else that joined live and commented. And, of course, all of you that listen to the pod after the fact. I know there's many of you. We really appreciate your support, especially when there are actually 2 podcasts for Canberra. Especially appreciate you all being here and watching and listening to us talk about the program. The Off-Brand podcast. It's more fun here, but, we know it's 2 podcasts in a week about an LRG is a lot, especially if you weren't on it. So thank you, Aston and Sophie in particular, who I see were here live tonight.
They were there as well on the weekend.
I know.
It'll be similar to Jules and I, because we were both at season 2 of Sydney. Like we'll be in the comments.
Yeah, I'll be there in the comments.
You kind of us pod it because we know what happens, but we'll be in the comments.
But we appreciate all of you. And, of course, tune in on Friday. New episode drops. Very exciting. And then we'll be back maybe Tuesday. Keep an eye out for that. Don't like doing back-to-back with the on-brand, but we might have to accommodate Dani's hat party, where she might be wearing a blue and pink hat with her partner.
She's prioritizing her wedding anniversary over a podcast. Like, come on.
You can do it without me. I'm just telling you I won't be here if it's Wednesday.
We will see if we can accommodate it. Jules Dani has to drive trains, but we will see if we can accommodate it. If we can, it's good to have the 3 of us. That's the show. So if we can do it, it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday. Keep an eye out. And if you're not, follow our ORCA socials, our Facebook. I already got Facebook because I'm an old boomer. Not really a boomer. What am I? An old millennial. Go on Facebook. Go in there and follow and like us so you see when I post shit. But we'll be seeing you. Thank you for joining us. We will be back. And I'm going to start this, and goodbye all.